celebrate. They have done it.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with a match preview for Newcastle's next upcoming match against Crystal Palace, Wednesday at home under the lights, St James's Park, 7:30 kickoff, and the race to get in the Champions League continues. Newcastle United are fresh off smashing mediocre Manchester United 4-1 at St James's Park on Sunday, and this game's kind of crept up on all of us, really, including me, hence my last-minute match preview. So normally we're a little bit more organised than this, but here we go. I'm going to get stuck right into it. Just before we do, a little reminder, if you haven't already, smash subscribe, help get us to the next milestone. We're over 10,000 subs now. We did have a prize for that, but nobody's come forward. So I think Mark is going to put something in the community chat, and that might go round again. So somebody could be lucky and win the Shearer shirt and come forward and claim it, because those other people didn't do it. But keep your eyes on the community chat, guys. We'll be talking about that very, very soon. So back to the matters at hand, Newcastle United versus Crystal Palace. Now, before I get into all of this, got to address the news that the club released a statement the other day that they confirmed Eddie Howe has been suffering from pneumonia, and that's why he was rushed into hospital. That's why the talk of those kind of words like consciousness and talking to his family were probably used, most likely from the doctors, and then reiterated by the club before they confirmed what the diagnosis was. So we wish Eddie nothing but the best to get well soon and get back to what he's best at and what we love him doing. That's managing this football club day to day on the grass, and then obviously on the touchline as well. So Jason Tinder will take charge of the Palace game and the Villa game at the weekend to allow Eddie enough time to rest and recuperate. But hopefully Jason and the lads can get the job done for Eddie. Get well soon, Eddie. We miss you, and hopefully, you know, this is just going to be over very, very quickly, and you'll be back to full strength very, very soon. So let's get stuck into the game. And Palace is not an easy game. It really, really is. Newcastle are banging form at the moment. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. Our form is excellent at the moment. Looking at all the kind of Champions League hopefuls, we are right at it. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. So we have won 5 of our last 6 games in terms of our Premier League form. Absolutely on a run, no doubt about it at all. And Palace themselves, to be fair, they've won 4 of their last 6 games, so they're not in a bad run of form either, and they've got some very dangerous players. But let's get stuck into Newcastle first. How do I think we're going to line up? Well, surprise, surprise, I think we're going to line up exactly the same as we have done the last couple of games. No changes whatsoever. Some of those players are in banging form as well. Sandro Tonali looks unbelievable. At the minute, he looks pound for pound the best midfield in the Premier League, in my opinion. His defensive capabilities, his ability going forward, he's added goals to his games as well. He doesn't seem to sweat in a game. He doesn't seem to be phased. He just takes everything in his stride, looking cool as fuck the entire time. I absolutely adore this player. What a footballer he is. Bruno Guimaraes and Joe Linton alongside him. We've arguably got the best midfield in the Premier League, probably next to Arsenal's and Liverpool's. I've heard that said, even by fans that don't normally give us enough credence. And that shows you how well Newcastle are doing right now and how seriously we are being taken. Win this game, and we're 3rd in the Premier League table. I think we will be, and I'll get into that in a minute. But everybody's bang at it. You know, Nick Pope's even looking a bit better now. He's making some good saves, some good reflex saves. His kicking's fucking woeful still, as we saw on Sunday, but he still looks a bit sharper than he has done since he's come back in. The back 4 looks strong. Trippier looks like he's back to a good run of form. Share's picking up game time form as well. You know, Burns looking good. Tino Livramento's been amazing at left back since he's come in there. We haven't missed Lewis Hall. That shows how good Tino's been. And obviously up front, Alexander Isak leading the line, over 20 goals again for a 2nd season in a row. Murphy chipping in with assists. And Harvey Barnes, a player transformed, a player in bang form right now. Absolutely unbelievable. This kid, and I should have said it in the aftermath, it slipped my mind, probably because the sun was beaming in my face. I'm in the home studio today, so I'm having that distraction of seagulls and sunshine. But Harvey Barnes, for me, is the 2nd most clinical finisher at the football club behind Alexander Isak. He's fucking unbelievable in front of goal. He really is, Harvey Barnes. His movement, his ability just to make a decision, fucking pick a spot, get it in the back of the net. He's a class at it. He's absolutely class at it. And he has to continue his run in this team. I'm not dropping him for Anthony Gordon. The only change I could say if Gordon comes in for me is either Barnes or Gordon go over to the right and Murphy gets dropped. That's harsh on Murphy. Unbelievable assist record this season. Got one again against Manchester United. Had a shot, nearly scored a goal as well. Didn't have a great game, but had those key moments in the game as well. So Murphy had a decent performance if you look at it that way in terms of his output. So it's hard to drop any of those players. So I think we'll keep the starting lineup. Gordon, again, will have to make room for a space on the bench. But he'll want to come on and have an impact. There's no doubt about that. In this game, will be tricky. There is no question about it. But in terms of the key battles, looking at the way Manchester City lined up, sorry, I beg your pardon, Palace lined up against Manchester City. I went with a back three. So they had Richards, Lacroix, and Jefferson Lerma as a back three. And then they packed out in the midfield. They had Munoz. Wharton, I think, is an excellent player. He's back now, uses the ball so well. He's going to be difficult to get the ball off in midfield, there's no doubt. Our midfield are going to have to be added to deal with him. Kamada, and then Mitchell in a kind of a wing back position, had Ismail Assar and Eze, who's probably the most dangerous player they've got, and then Big Mateta leading the line. So these are a decent side, there's no doubt about it. They're sitting 12th in the Premier League, but it's maybe a little bit misleading that, they're on level points with Brentford. Brentford give us a hell of a game. Again, they had dangerous players like Wissa, and Brian and Mbeumo as well. So we cannot take Palace for granted. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. But we need to win that battle in the midfield. And I think our wide players against that back three, pushing them back into maybe to back four, even a back five, I think will be key to winning this game with Barnes on the left and Tino on the overlap, and then obviously Trippier and Murphy on the other side causing the damage, because Mitchell's got to drop back in to basically be a left back and make that a back four, which is probably what Palace will do. But in terms of stopping the threat from Palace, we'll have to stop Eze on the ball. Eze's been absolutely outstanding. He's been injured this season, but he's still such a good player as well. And he's one of them players, no disrespect to Palace, who's maybe destined to move on. But in terms of his ability, obviously playmaking on the ball, he presses high as well. He's excellent on the ball. Doesn't waste the ball. His ability to drop a shoulder, beat a man. He can pick up pockets of space. He can score goals. He can assist. He's got 8 assists this season in the Premier League and 3 goals in 27 matches played in the Premier League. All in all, in total, the whole amount of football he's played, 34 games, 7 goals and 12 assists. So the guy is a dangerous player, and we have to keep him quiet. So that might mean Sandro Tonali has to drop back a little bit and watch him picking up that kind of number 10 role in behind Mateta. And do his defensive duty as well. Maybe Bruno Guimaraes has to be a little bit more at it as well in terms of his defensive capabilities, and Joe Linton alongside him. But we have to sniff out the threat of Eze. But I generally think that Newcastle is so dangerous going forward right now. We can push this whole Palace team back into a defensive block. And I think that they probably will kind of come and sit in for the first 10 or 15 minutes of the game and maybe look to pump the ball up to Big Mateta to hold the ball up, and then bring players like Eze into play. In terms of Mateta as well, again, he's another player that's been linked to copious moves to different football clubs, including Manchester United. If I was you, Mateta, I'd stay at Palace, because Manchester United's a fucking dumpster fire. But in terms of his goal throughput this season, he's had a great season. 30 matches played, 13 goals and 2 assists. All in all, 37 games played, 16 goals and 3 assists. And that's really good. You're talking about a team 12th in the table, and their number 9 has got 13 goals. So these are no mugs whatsoever. They are a very, very dangerous team. And I think with Adam Wharton back in that midfield, again, another player, who's been linked away. Sorry, Palace, I'm not trying to sell your entire team, because I hate it when they do that to us. But players like Wharton, with Manchester City looking to replace Kevin De Bruyne and guys like that, people like Wharton are going to be definitely on people's radars, but I think Palace want at least 100 million quid for this kid. And we all know what Paris is like, because we couldn't get Mark Guehi, who was going to come back into this team after suspension. And Mark Guehi will want to show Newcastle United what they lost out on in the summer and how good of a defender he is. So this was not going to be an easy game whatsoever. Let's have a look at how we think Palace are probably going to line up in terms of what they've got them on the Sportsmo preview here, which I'm using for reference. They have got Palace. Let's have a look. So they've got Henderson in goal, Richards, Lacroix, Guehi coming in there to fill in that back line. So that'll be in place of Jefferson Lerma, Munoz, Wharton, Will Hughes they've got coming in. Again, he's another good player, uses the ball really well. He's one of them types of players, Will Hughes. He's massively underrated. People don't think he's a good player because he's not a glamorous name in that, but he just looks after the ball. He's neat and tidy, 1 and 2 passes, real simple balls. And then before you know it, they're in a dangerous position, Palace, to score a goal. I like Will Hughes as a player, always have. They've got Mitchell, Sarr, Eze and Mateta obviously leading their line. So similar team to what we've just said against Man City, but Mark Guehi coming back at the back, the captain, that is definitely going to show them up at the back. But he's not going to have an easy day. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. Newcastle United right now are probably, the informed team in the Premier League, and probably the team that nobody wants to play, especially at St James's Park. And I think the lads have to go into this game with confidence, and they have to show what a good team that we are. And I think they'd be buoyed with the result against Manchester United, the demolishing, destroying of Manchester United on Sunday. I think will give them loads of confidence. Yes, Eddie will be a big miss again, there's no doubt, but I'm sure you'll have some kind of involvement. You'll probably have a message for the team before that. Jason Tyndall again showed on Sunday that they're a team, them two. It isn't just Eddie Howe. They work that together as a team, and when the lads came out in the second half and blew Manchester United away, Tyndall is obviously the man delivering that talk at halftime. So you've got to give him his respect for that as well. And I think Newcastle will win this game, but this will not be an easy game. This will be the hardest game, arguably, we've had in this run of games. And Brentford give us a really good game. Manchester United give us the worst game out of all of them because Manchester United are abysmal. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. Make no mistake, they are terrible. They are 10 years away from challenging for this Premier League title, even the top four, I think. They're absolutely in pieces. They really, really are. Most of that policy that I just listed there would walk into that Manchester United team. That's how far Manchester United away. And that's no disrespect to Crystal Palace, but that's how far Manchester United have sunk down the table. That even a lot of the players for people like Palace, wouldn't even go to Manchester United because they would see it as a step down. So this is going to be a tough game for Newcastle, no doubt. But Alexander Isak will be itching to get a couple of goals because he's missed out on a couple of goals there in the last few games, and I think he'll be dying to get back on the goal ladder. Harvey Barnes will be dying to get another goal as well, keep his place in the team, show what he can do. Murphy having a season of his life. But I think we need to seize this game in the midfield. If we stop the likes of Wharton and Hughes using the ball and playing with the ball, while if we push them back and make them defend more, because they're not great defensively. I think Wharton can track back and get stuck in quite well, but Hughes is not the best defensively. I think the power, the aggression, the strength we have, because they're only little lads, they're only little lads, those two midfielders. And I think with Joe Linton's strength, Sandro's strength, I think, and Bruno gets stuck in as well. I think we can really get aggressive in that midfield, get a hold of this game and push Palace right back. And if we get an early goal in this game, I can see us going on to win this, no problem at all. But I think it's going to be a difficult game. There's no doubt about it. I think it's going to go 2-1 to Newcastle United. That's my prediction on the scores. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think about that scoreline, about the lineup that we've picked as well. Do you think it'll be the same, or do you think Jason might make some changes? Do you think Gordon might come in? Maybe him and Barnes will go into the same team and see if we can get that working eventually? Or do you think we'll just stick with the winning formula, the battered Manchester United on Sunday? And who's your danger man from Crystal Palace? Who are you worried about? Is it Eze? Is it Mateta? Is it Wharton? Is it those types of players that I mentioned, or is it somebody else? And do you think this is going to be an easy game or a difficult game, as I've just said there as well? We always like to hear from you. Drop a comment in. Remember to like and subscribe. Help the channel grow. I'll be back with a live post-match analysis of the Palace game on Wednesday night. Hopefully, Newcastle United are sitting third in the Premier League. I can't believe we're saying that after some of the roller coaster moments of this season. A cup win and third in mid-April would be unbelievable. It's all in Newcastle's hands to get this Champions League spot. We need to do it to keep the best players and kick on even further. And I think we can do it. And this game is massive. This is our game in hand. Got to win it, lads. Get third in the table. How are the lads? Can't wait for Wednesday. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. See you later.
Heroes celebrate. They have done it.